Kuko, kuno, apo, pano. Mama wanna get it, mama wanna get it nice.
Right, 12 March 2022, and today I'm joined by Senator Khaliphani Phugeni after a very, very long time. How are you, Senator?
I'm okay. You even forgotten my name.
Senator, you know, I think it's been more than 2 months since we talked.
Really? Not just a month, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it's very rare. Normally, I used to talk to you so often. I can say almost every week. So yeah, it is actually something that we need to do again. We need to talk very often because many people look forward to your views on many, many issues.
How are our listeners this evening? Good evening to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. My heart is bleeding, Kambakwe, before we get into our main talk. My heart is bleeding with what is happening in Ukraine. The people of Ukraine deserve better from the world. The world must stop that madness. In 2022, we can't have where strong countries just invade their neighbors and they just kill people like that. It's really, really uncalled for.
Okay, I don't know about the situation in Ukraine. I think it's something that we need to deal with in great detail at some point, because I believe that issue is still developing and we might see a bigger situation very, very soon.
Yeah, true. I just wanted to conscientize us around those issues because remember, we now live in a global world or in a global village. What is happening in Ukraine may very soon affect us here, and there's a possibility that we may end up in World War III. The mere fact that it's World War, it means we will be affected, but it's crazy what is happening there. It should not be allowed. The man just has to be stopped. The world has a moral responsibility to stop the men. The dying of those kids, it was 3 days ago, the bombing of that maternity hospital. Come on, we can't do that.
Okay, Senator, I think let's quickly wrap this up. I've got load shedding coming in less than an hour.
Okay. All right.
So I want us to look at 2 issues. The first issue is the rally that was being held by the CCC in Marondera. I just wanted to update our audience because the information that is flowing normally is incorrect. So people just put out propaganda, but then they don't want to give people the real truth. So in the case of the CCC rally, what happened is that Caston Mateo and the CCC, they went out and said they want to have a rally. And in their papers, in their request to the police, they also requested a car rally. And a car rally is a procession. So the police denied them the car rally because there are certain requirements that you need to fulfill if you're doing a car rally. That is because the police need more resources. So they were denied. The police rejected their request to hold that rally. Then they went to court yesterday and the judge told them to go back to the police and they decided to negotiate. I think let Fadzai just explain the whole situation. It will take a second.
Citizens Coalition for Change had organized a rally for Mashonaland East, which was going to be held here at Dudula Stadium in Marondera. As you all know, our lawyers complied with every single requirement of the Maintenance of Peace Act. We've acted lawfully, we've acted constitutionally. We even went so far as to go to the High Court yesterday. Unfortunately, the judge did not make a determination in the matter. All we were told to do was to pursue our local remedies. As a result, we've tried to negotiate with the DISPOL, we've tried to negotiate with the police, but they simply won't see us.
Right, so that is Fadzai. She's clearly explaining that the police, the court told them that turn them away and they were negotiating with the police. The police said no, but they still proceeded. Then Nelson Chamisa, when he arrived at the stadium, this is what he said.
My lawyer akaenda kukoti. Jaji aifananga ari kukoti akashaikwa usiku hwese. My lawyer akapedza usiku akangomirira padhora jaji. kusvikira nhasi mangwanani vazoendazve kuno kumasipesi ndokwatati judgment ichinzi inzwike kuti ngaita musangano murunyararo. We are a party of peace, a part of the rule of law. Saka varamba kwataenda kukotu vati hazvigoni kuti muenderere mberi nemusangano. Tikadaiwa zvakanaka chitipai mukana ndinoudza vanhu kuti zvarambwa.
Right. So, Senator, I just wanted to make this point that firstly, Chamisa is not telling the truth. The lawyers did not sleep at the door. And secondly, I really want to say the police, they did a great job today. They were under so much provocation at Marondera. I'll play some of those videos during the week. And Chamisa is going to be at Dudula Stadium tomorrow. He's been permitted to hold that rally. I'm going to show those papers in a later article. But that is what I wanted to start with. Is there anything you want to say about this issue, Senator?
No, except to say it's nice to see Advocate Mahere in high spirits doing her thing, considering what was reported yesterday, that she had a smash and grab, and one can only hope it was not political related. What we need to be doing now is lowering the temperature, not heightening it. And as Zimbabweans, I don't think, you know my position on this one. We don't have to be violent to each other. It doesn't matter how much we disagree. So I hope the police will be on that case very soon, and the culprits will be apprehended. I don't know much about this case for obvious reasons. I haven't been following, but I have noticed something by just listening to different press statements. I listened to Date Mutsaka during the week. There was a video doing rounds, him saying NC is, what do you call this? He's just trailing HE wherever HE goes, and trying to compare the crowds and whatever. I don't know how he came to that conclusion. And so I can interpret that as saying some of the reasons why these rallies are either disrupted or stopped, it's because there is a fear that there is a comparison of crowds and whatever. And if I were to be their advisor, which I am not, I'll say to the state, stay away from disrupting those rallies, because you are profiling them. That's basically having a complete different outcome. Once you give people the perception that the person is being persecuted, that the person is being hindered to just experience or his constitutional rights are infringed upon, you're basically profiling that person. So if you are scared that he might be seen to have more numbers than HE, and then you unleash the might of the state on him, you are basically churning out more numbers for him. That is my only fear. I am happy about the way they angled the Marondera issue based on what you've just shown me, just coming there and telling people that the rally has been denied and then therefore disperse and go home. I hope that we won't wake up tomorrow morning and hear negative news. I just pray that everyone went home and everyone arrived home safe.
Yeah, definitely. Senator, the biggest problem we have is that the CCC is busing people from all over the country to different parts of the country. I've said that this, I don't think it's acceptable. If you look at the people that were at the rally today, they are not local Marondera people. Most of those people, they're coming from Gweru, all these places away from Marondera. They're just doing crowds. I think that is also something they need to address.
Okay, I needed some expertise about 2 weeks ago in Harare. So I went to see this this person, and it turned out that he's a C person, and so he is from the Midlands. So I was asking him about how many people was he made to transport to Harare, their first rally. And he said to me, no. I didn't have to transport anyone. I'll actually be transporting people for, I think it's the Kokwe one. The Kokwe one is the one in Midlands. I don't know if the Kokwe, one of the two, or the Kweru one, or whatever. But he was saying that that's the one where he's expected to transport people, because Harare, they are oversubscribed. They've got enough people. So I'm saying, when this was said to me, all of these things had not come up. So I tend to disagree with that statement. It might be a situation of people just excited, traveling, following their party, and I think I saw a video somewhere where they said there are no buses here. No one has been passed. There's no single bus. But I must hasten also to say, on their first rally, I think I noticed a truck carrying a lot of people, whether they were from the surrounding area or they were from outside provinces. But you must also appreciate, it's a phenomenon in Zimbabwean politics. ZANU-PF does the same. They bus people from all over using Zupco buses. Hence, Zupco had to put a statement this week to say everyone is allowed to hire Zupco buses in this country.
Okay, I think that is satisfactory. All is well that ends well. Today was a good day for the police. They did a great job. Some of the pictures are unbelievable of what people were doing to the police. And I think whoever was the commanding officer there did a great job. Now, let's move to the next issue, Senator. Operation Dudula. You saw what happened here in Alexandra this week. People were being dragged from their work, Zimbabweans. So in terms of numbers, we have got approximately 400 Zimbabweans who were taken from their jobs. People in Soweto, people in Alexandra who were arrested while they were at work. What do you say about that situation?
Operation Dudula is nothing but an operation which is run by a government which is scared, a government which has failed its people. I'm talking of the ANC government, which has failed its people dismally, and they are now scapegoating migrants. So that is what is happening. And at the heart of it is a class struggle. It's a class struggle where poor black people are set on other poor black people. I can tell you this, Kambakwe, they can wipe out all foreigners in that country. Their problems will remain because the capitalists are in charge of that country. You know, they're in charge of that country, and they really don't care about the poor. They have not done anything about that whole thing. Right now, you've got bandits practicing vigilantism, running around asking people to produce their IDs. That's against the law. Produce their papers. That's against the law. You see, and they are doing nothing because they are scared of Action SA. They are scared of getting Kenzie's party. All those people are running xenophobic campaigns. So when they look at 2024, they realize that actually it's possible that the ANC will get the 45% which they got in the local government elections, or even less than that. So it's a class struggle more than anything else. It also doesn't help that we also have a government which is not responsive to the poor conditions which our people find themselves in. And so our people are always going to be trekking south, and then they'll have to meet those xenophobic campaigns which are running in that country. So it's a very sad situation. It's a very, very sad situation. It's desperate when I come back. You know, during this week, I think it's this week, early this week, I went to one of the government offices. So I wanted to register for something. Then I just registered. And as I was leaving, so before I left, this woman needed to know where do I work and all those things. So then I told her. So then she got to know then that I'm a senator. She's living with albinism. And so I said to her, look, I was once asked to champion the cause of people living with albinism. Now that I have you, what exactly am I dealing with here? So she got quiet for quite some time, I think for about 30 seconds. And then she says, I'll tell you personally what I'm struggling with. I have my son who lives with the same condition. I want him to a school very close to me. But I've always been turned down. and I said, what grade is the child? I said, grade 7. I said, look, it's going to be difficult. I'm just going to give it a trial. I've not been turned down before. Every time I go to these schools to plead for this or that, they always listen to me. So I took it to the school. I pleaded with the principal. It was quite a long meeting and a long pleading. But eventually the principal understood and said, look, bring the child. If he passes, we'll take him. But grade 7, well, the child came, to cut the long story short, and they took the child. Now, this is where I'm going, Kambako. After the child has been taken, obviously the mother is relieved. I am relieved. But now there's the issue of school fees. Now, school fees is needed. She doesn't have that school fees. Once you think you've dealt with the school fees, there's the issue of the uniform. I mean, this child already has a condition. You don't want him being singled out with a different uniform and everything. Once you're done with the uniform, there's the issue of books. And all of that money is not there. And I'm looking at all of this and I'm saying, oh God, our people are suffering. Our people are suffering. So you can see the difficulties that our people are faced with on day-to-day basis. And it will seem like there is no relief whatsoever. This same child I'm talking about was under this BEAM program at the previous school. When he came to this school, they said, no, it won't apply here. Everything has been allocated. I'm like, but if it's allocated to a child, the mere fact that it's moving from one government school to another, no, it's not going to apply. So I'm just trying to show you how difficult our people have how many difficulties our people contend with on day-to-day basis just to survive. And that drains you down. I'm telling you, it drained me down. I didn't have money. The only thing I could offer was transport and my agency and everything. But just thinking about what she's going through, it really broke me down. I was so tired at the end of the day yesterday.
Okay, Senator, I think it's clear. We all agree that there are issues in Zimbabwe. But I think the Dudula issue, it's really something that can turn very badly. I think you remember the issue.
Yeah, it will end badly. I make no mistake. But of course, I mean, I can't blame the South African government and not talk about home because there are push factors. Our people are not there out of choice. No one is in South Africa out of choice. You are not in South Africa out of choice yourself. Right now, it may be out of choice, but you did not go there out of choice. So I need to speak about the push factors that our government really need to look at these matters and say, should our people be crossing borders? Some of them, you probably use the passport and like most of us, but most of our people don't even have passport. They would take the risk of being mauled by crocodiles, being swallowed up by crocodiles, just to go and try and have a decent living, only to get there to meet those vigilantes crowd treating them less human than others. Now, here is a point I want you to see how dangerous that country is. Are you aware that the chief negotiator pre-1994 for the IFP was an Italian? I think even in parliament there, they even gave him a position of a chief whip, if I'm not mistaken. But that issue was never raised. He was seen as a bona fide IFP member. Everything was okay with him. We had the Malunga deputy public protector there. His issue became so huge, he had to resign from that job. His issue was so huge. So there is no question. We are dealing with people who are extremely xenophobic. It doesn't help that the ruling elite, who happen to be the higher class, the capitalists, are setting the poor against each other. And by the time these poor people realize that they were just escaping these scapegoating these migrants, it will be too late, because all the foreigners can live in that country. But I'm telling you that the structural, in terms of the economy, the structural problems that exist there are too big. The chasing away of migrants is not going to solve it.
Okay, Senator, as I said, I'm going to be having load shedding right now. It's in fact in the next 5 minutes. So let's see what happens tomorrow at Dilubadzimu Stadium in Beitbridge. That is where CCC President Nelson Chamisa. I think he's on his way now, or tomorrow morning he's going to be driving there. And unfortunately, I can't go there. It's too far for me today. So I'll have to watch with you guys. Let's see what happens at that rally. Is there anything else you want to say before we close, Senator?
But Kambakwe, who needs enemies with friends like you? There's a big rally happening in Harare tomorrow. You're not even going to talk about it. Are you for real? And you are talking to an official from that party and you just ignore me. You just ignore our rally like we don't even exist. Really?
You know, the thing is,
a good friend to the president. Surely he's not going to be happy watching this and you don't even mention him. You want me to be talking about Triple C? I don't know nothing about Triple C. Why can't I talk about a big rally happening tomorrow in Harare?
Okay, I want people to understand something. My time is very, very limited. So I normally deal with trending issues. And I also deal with people who invite me. So ever since I talked to Senator Monzora in June last year, I've never talked to him. I've never talked to his officials. I've never talked to his spokespersons. They don't contact me. I don't talk to them. That's why you see that I don't cover their rallies. It's like the Xenophobia rallies. You saw that there was a Xenophobia rally in Pumula. You didn't hear me talking about it because the guys don't invite me. They don't talk to me. I've lost touch with them. That's why you see me talking mostly about the CCC because it's trending.
We must believe that. Okay, we believe you, Kambakwe. We really believe you.
Yeah, that is the situation. And unfortunately, I can only cover one thing at a time. And this is why I hope that I'll be down on the ground in Zimbabwe next year so that we can have more capacity.
Which is very close, my friend. 6 hours, you'll be there. Come on.
Senator, you know what? I'm not strong like I was before. I honestly can't drive 6 hours anymore. Today I drove 1 hour, and when I came back, I was totally exhausted. I think I'm generally physically weak now. I'm no longer able to do most of the things that.
But your affinity for bullies surprises me because you come across as having this disposition of loving bullies, you know, and you have this disdain for the vulnerable and all those things. And yet here you are yourself, you're now falling in the group of vulnerable people, but God is very good to you. Why don't you?
I don't like bullies. I just like the truth. For example, CCC guys, I think they make a lot of mistakes. And you know what I like about Kambakwe media is most of the people that support Chamisa in the 2018 elections, they know how we supported Chamisa. That is why no matter what we say, people always come back to watch.
But how did we move from what I said to talking about Chamisa? Why are we talking about him?
you said about an affinity for bullies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but so he's the vulnerable.
No. You're connecting the dots that don't connect. No, he can't fall under the vulnerable. No, he's very strong. He's very strong and solid. No, not at all. No,
but when it comes to Kambakwe, most guys are very hurt. I want to tell you that I'm aware that many guys who are in CCC, they are very hurt about me when I criticize Chamisa. Because they think that we do it out of malice.
Against them. I saw your headline yesterday saying Mahere was marked coming from a nightclub when she was clearly coming from a church service. I mean, really, Kambakwe, if you're going to do that, how do you expect people to respond?
How do you know she was coming from church?
Because that's what we're told. That's what she said. She said she was coming from a church service.
Yeah, but my sources tell me otherwise. So you see, the difference between me and...
All right. Okay. Also, you take your sources like me against the victim. All right. Okay, that's fine.
The thing is, we don't like people who behave like Wopo. You see, Wopo in the morning at 1 a.m., he put out a post and say Mahere was attacked by the state. That's really bad because you can't point to the state. When someone put their handbag on the passenger seat, you are going to get mugged in any country. That is the truth.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to speak for Opwell. I think he's got a big enough platform to do that. I'm just amazed at how you turn every conversation to be about NC and his triple C thing. It's an amazement to me. Now we're living. Time is gone. We haven't spoken about MTCT. MTCT has a massive rally tomorrow. At least the least thing you can do for me. Can you please bring Fungai Chipose one of these days here? Just for him to, I think he's running at Kambuzuma, just to tell you what he stands for and what is his vision for the people of Kambuzuma, because I think there's something there. I think there's
okay.
Something
I've invited him. I've invited the spokespersons. I've invited Mahere. I've invited Ostalos. These people, they don't want to come and talk, but I don't stop. That's one thing I want to tell you. I'm not going to be asking people over and over again. Chiposi, he knows how many times we've asked him.
Focus. Can you please focus? We're talking about Chipose. Leave all the other people out there. Can you just get us Chipose? Let's just
well,
like I'm saying.
He chickened out.
There's something there, and can you please also try and raise some resources, whatever resources, for that young man? I think that's a rough diamond there that can be polished, and our country will be blessed with this service.
Well, I can't force him. I've asked him. I've asked the spokespersons of Senator Monzora. I've asked everyone, but you see, I don't have time. Like I said, my time is very, very limited. And that point that I wanted to make to you.
I'll get you posted this week. Anyway, it's okay. So I'll talk with you backstage and just arrange which day, and I'll talk to him and I'll get you Chipos. But the resources, you don't have to talk to him. Can you get him some resources, please?
We'll make a plan. But Senator, the point I wanted to make is one. The point I wanted to make is that many CCC guys are hurt when we criticize Chamisa because they think we're doing it out of malice. Do you know that I am one of the...
Why should I know this?
No, I want you to know because we've got a lot of people watching here and I want them to understand.
Oh,
the role of the media.
Oh, you're using me to communicate to people that are not happy with you. Okay, it's fine. You can.
Yes. So, Senator, the role of the media is such that we have to be ahead. So, for example, when I criticize Chamisa's strategy, by the time you see it, you go back and say, "Oh, Gambakwe said this before." Take, for example, when we started talking to you back in 2019, most people did not understand you. Right now, 99% of CCC guys, they love you. Do you remember how much they hated you in the beginning?
But people hated my master's. You know that. You just have to stay there and make sure that you don't return evil with evil. And that's what I've tried to do. I try my best not to return evil with evil. And the Bible says, Jesus actually says, if they've done this to a green tree, basically if they did what they did to the master, how about his followers? So I do expect every now and then there will be cheap jabs, some of them extremely unwarranted and not called for. But that's the world which we're living in. Let me tell you my big dream, come back. My big dream. If I were to wake up one morning, say the president of my party, what I will do is to make sure that I at least bring all the opposition to one tent. That's what I'll do. If I wake up the president of my organization, I'll really make sure that all the opposition, I bring them in one tent, because that's the only way we can defeat ZANU. This whole nonsense of fighting around, I've got more people than you and blah, 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 and just being tools of a system that we claim that we are opposing. By tools, I simply mean these all useless fights of formations, 2011 or whatever, supermarkets of opposition parties trying to remove one format system. Let me give you an example. Look at ZANU-PF. There is a G40 element. It's there. It's fighting inside there. It's there. They are still one part because they know that if they lose power, there is nothing for them. They are all gone. But with us in the opposition, we don't seem to get that simple principle. It's just logic, man. It's just common sense. You can't be fragmenting at the rate which you are fragmenting, and then expect that you are going to remove ZANU. How are you going to remove it? What's going to happen?
Yeah, Senator, I think we need to go into this topic more another day. I don't think it's about removing ZANU-PF. Honestly speaking, I think Zimbabweans just need to sort themselves out. Everyone, not by political party, but just loving each other generally. We just hate each other so much as Zimbabweans.
No.
Yeah.
I think I've said it in this platform. I've got a lot of great people that I respect in ZANU-PF. I've given you an example. When I see Senator Tongokar, I just love that mother. I don't see a ZANU person. I just see a woman. I just see a mother. I just see a grandmother. So hate doesn't even apply to me. But I'll tell you why ZANU must go. Number one, you've got a party that has presided over a country for 41 years. And what has happened in the last 41 years is that we've lost our pensions. We've lost our dignity. We've lost our currency. We've lost our innocence. I can go on and on and on. We've lost our young people like you right now. We are outside the country. Do you know how much of brain drain we have gone through? Everything is just wrong. The social structure. People are fighting amongst each other right now. You're pointing the finger at the wrong person. You must point the finger at ZANU-PF because it's the governing party. It's the one with the responsibility of bringing us together as a people. Right now, we see each other according to which political party we belong into. That's the party that has caused all of this, and it must go. And we're not going to remove them through violence or through anger. We love them. They must know that when they're out, we will still treat them with dignity. We will make sure that they remain respected for the role which they played together with ZAPU in bringing about this country. But the truth of the matter is that if you still think that after 41 years, ZANU-PF can bring something in this country, there's something wrong with you. They themselves, they know that they've reached the ceiling. They have reached the ceiling.
Okay, I think you've made a point. And Senator, as I say, I don't bring you here so that I can force my views on you. And I've got 7 days a week when I come here and I talk for hours by myself. I really appreciate what you've said. And I'm sure everyone who's watching, they hear what you're saying, but I do not agree. I certainly think that ZANU-PF is going to be around for at least the next 20 years. They are not going to come out of office the way that people think. There's going to be a long transition period. And Chamisa will be president when he's about 64 years from now, 64 years old. That is how I see this situation.
But you have a caring problem. I did not say that ZANU is going to go next year like this. No. I say, this is what I say to you. I said to you, there's a case for ZANU to go. That's the case, and I met that case. I did not say they'll go next year. I'm the one who was telling you that the unfortunate thing is the fragmentation of the opposition. The way they are fragmenting is just not helpful. ZANU said it after CCC was formed that you'll see they are going to fight. And when they say that, let me tell you what they've done. They already have planted people there. They already know what they are doing. You see? So unless people realize that egos have to play second fiddle to what is the mission. The historical mission is to remove ZANU. We must remove them. We have failed to reform them, guys. We have failed. We're in a GNU with them. Life was better for everyone, including themselves. They dismantled that GNU, and now they carry on like everything is okay, when things are not okay. I was just telling you right now about this lady that we had to go through. I ended up with a drained body at the end of the week, because every day when we think, okay, we've overcome this, something new comes, and you feel like, and you know what is the sad thing in my case? The sad thing in my case is that people don't appreciate that, first of all, I'm a member of parliament from the opposition. So I really, the mere fact that when I go to these government offices and they listen to me, kudos to them, and you must give them credit that they don't treat me like an opposition person or whatever. But my powers just end in persuasion. If I can't persuade the officials, that's it. I don't have executive power. I don't have executive influence. I can just persuade them. If they listen, praise God, which in this case they have done. And I must give kudos to them, you know, and I must also credit the current administration, which means is the culture which they're inculcating. But that's as far as it goes. But that we're praising them for something which they ought to do in any event must show you at how desperate the situation is.
Right. Thanks, Senator. And I really appreciate talking to you. I hope to see you again next week. And I hope to see you during the by-elections. I think I should come over to Zim if time permits.
Who will vote?
Yes, I'm registered to vote in Bulawayo. That MP there in Bulawayo Central is a menace. She has never been seen ever since she was elected. I hope they vote her out if she's the one who's coming back. There's a by-election right in Bulawayo Central.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying.
That MP who knows her, I don't think anyone knows her at all.
In Bulawayo Central.
Yes.
So you are trying to vote someone out who's not an MP. She's not an MP, so how are you going to vote her out if she's not an MP or he's not an MP?
Well, remember the de facto position is that anyone who was in CCC or MDC alliance, they want that word. So the reason why they put them back there is so that they can win automatically, because the people who voted for them in 2018 would automatically vote for them again. But I hope that the situation turns around.
Yeah, you need to do your research, because you are failing yourself here in your media house. There are only 2 vacant positions in Bulawayo. That's the one in Pumula. I want you to come and help me there. That's where we're voting. And then the other one is in Kulumani. Those are the only 2 available positions in Bulawayo.
So I'm not voting because I don't qualify. I'm registered in Bulawayo Central.
Okay, I think in Bulawayo Central there might be a council. I'm not sure. I speak under correction. You might have to come and vote for an MTC councillor there.
Okay, let's see what happens. My vote is my secret. Okay, thank you very much, Senator, and good night to everybody.
Citizens Coalition for Change had organized a rally for Mashonaland East, which was going to be held here at Dudula Stadium in Marondera. As you all know, our lawyers complied with every single requirement of the Maintenance of Peace Act. We've acted lawfully, we've acted constitutionally. We even went so far as to go to the High Court yesterday. Unfortunately, the judge did not make a determination in the matter. All we were told to do was to pursue our local remedies. As a result,
Nezuro maloya dakaenda kukoti. Jaji aifananga ari kukoti akashaikwa usiku hwese. Maloya akapedza usiku akangomirira padhora jaji. Kusvikira nhasi mangwanani. Vazoendazve kuno kumasipesi. Ndokwati judgment ichinzi inzwike kuti ngaita musangano murunyararo. We are a party of peace, a part of the rule of law. Saka aramba kwataenda kukotu. Vati hazvigoni kuti muenderere mberi nemusangano. Tikadai zvakanaka. Chitipai mukana ndinoudza vanhu.
Ay, 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 ay.